Hello, everyone, and welcome to another horrific review. Okay, tonight I am talking about They Came Back From Somewhere from our friends at Acrostar Films. So, this is a 1950s sci fi horror show. It's the sequel to They Came From Somewhere. No, they came from somewhere. No, they came back from somewhere. Pretty much what you expect from these guys. The first one was an absolute hoot, just tongue in cheek, parody, not so much parody, just a love letter back to that time of filmmaking. And if you've been joining Steve and I in our uh, reviews of Hammer Horror, we've went right back to the 50s, where this all started with the Quatermass experiment and X the Unknown. And I'm sure there'll be a few other ones we'll throw in, not just horror, Hammer, but other horrors from that era, which are absolutely fantastic. There's something about the storytelling of that era. I think it's because they couldn't rely on effects. Cinema was in its infancy, as in big budget type stuff. It was still done in the style of a stage play, and that was right up until the 60s. So the idea of what we get today in films just wasn't there. The camera was basically just a device to record a stage show, and just got to do a bit more about it. And it was only the build up from that period that we start getting set pieces, location shots. And it's like right up until it wasn't until the late 60s that the sort of the cinema movie, became a proper thing. But we're going along that journey anyway, and it's fun, and it's nice to see independent directors not forgetting about that period, not forgetting where movies came from and cinema, and there's nothing wrong with revisiting that. And I think today, why this movie is actually important. I know it's getting a wee bit preachy, but it's why this is important is people need to remember that. And this sort of scramble to get more and more stimulus and overstimulating that we're not actually enjoying stories anymore. And that's a bad thing. It's never healthy. And it's good to just go back, strip it all down, don't worry about the effects, and just have a bit of fun, just go for entertainment. Now, this movie is tongue in cheek, so you have to kind of have that in your mind when you go into it. It's not meant to be serious, so you just step over the gate and plot holes because they're deliberate. It's just done with that sense of fun that you go with it. So the very loose plot is that Luna, if you remember, and they came back from somewhere, sacrificed himself and destroyed the creature, busy to save Betty, the love of his life. So we're sort of dealing with the aftermath of that on their homeworld, which I can't remember the name of the homeworld. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. But back in the homeworld, we're kind of seeing the sort of repercussions of that. One thing though I will say, and I'm really disappointed with, is Supreme Leader. Right? Supreme Leader should have had a throne. And it should have been kitchen chair with cardboard cutout. It could have been that cheesy, but there's almost like the throw up for the set was like, nah. I know they're going for the tongue in cheek, but my god, make him a throne, make it a set. You did it well in the first one, and we knew it was a curtain, but now it's kind of like, yeah, it's a curtain. Yeah, we're just, and the things are all wobbly. And it's like, yeah, I know you're trying to do that, but nah, this time the sequel, you've done that gag. Should have made it as if, like Flash Gordon cheesiness, Ming the Merciless sort of thing. That's the vibe I was looking for, not just somebody with a cloak and not even wearing a suit underneath. If they had worn a suit or even a shirt and stuff, and been matching, or even the boiler suit that the rest of the aliens are wearing with a cloak over the top of it, that would have done, not just some bloke with a cape thrown around him going, yeah, I don't really give a shit. And that was kind of the impression. So the only disappointing thing in this movie was Supreme Leader. The Supreme Leader character, the way it was framed and everything else. It was like, you could do better, guys, with that one, honestly. Because you went right back to the vibes with the rest of the movie. Like, the rest of the movie's brilliant. It's a laugh, and you've managed to stay within the same theme, and it looks as if you've gone right back to the exact same place. where sometimes sequels mess up with that. I don't know. It doesn't matter about budget or anything, but you've actually managed to do it. Is you've returned to the town. It looks exactly the same as if it's never been left off. Left off now, even though it's set a year later. It's like it's the same place. So yeah, that was what kind of I'll get the gripe out of the way first. Was the Supreme Leader character and that whole setup was just like, yeah, and it didn't shouldn't have needed to have cost a lot of money to fix it. It's just a wee bit of thought and presentation would have been brilliant. Like definitely on a throne, not just like hanging about, but him sitting on a bit of a dais. And like I said, I'm just talking about a kitchen table, cardboard cutout, backed for a throne, and on a pallet. You could have just had him sitting on a pallet. That's enough, just to be slightly raised and have them all doing the symbols and genuflecting to him. That would have been, it would have been so in theme with us. But hey, c'est la vie. We'll get the idea that you don't really die in this universe. It's a bit like the Silent, the Battlestar Galactica remake, the Resurrection ships. It's kind of a bit like that, but they didn't really explain it. They just you fiddle a few buttons, and sure enough, Luma appears back again. With all his memories, as if he never left. I don't know. Like I said, it's tongue in cheek, so you just kind of go with that there. But fair enough. Luma comes back and he decides he's going to go back to find Betty, his true love, and go back to Earth. And he's had enough of this. Zumo getting executed for no reason really was a bit random. When Zumo didn't actually do anything. I don't understand how Quasar had to get executed. But Zumo, like, what do you execute her for? She didn't do anything. And then Quasar gets sent back with Nova and Starfire. Oh my god, those two are brilliant. Mia's character, she really went into it. Her walks. She does these funny walks all the way through it, and it's absolutely hilarious. And I'm just like, yep. And then those two, like the hand holding scene with the bounce over a picnic bench. And you know what I mean? It's like they're really hammering it up. I think you need a wee bit of a comedy score thrown in too, just to like a few boings or something, and throw that in there. Just if you're making this hammy and ridiculous, go full in. I think there's a wee bit of restraint in the movie that kind of want it to be taken seriously, but also not. And it's like commit to the ridiculousness. It's all good. I would just just make it brilliant. Like especially I'm a fan of Actor Star, as you know, and I think a lot of great folks have a laugh with them, and it's great to support their projects and be part of it in my little way, giving these reviews, just helping get the word out there. And yeah, just you get this sense of just having a bit of a laugh, but sort of holding it back at the same time, which is like, yeah, come on, guys, just go with it. Just go with the madness, let loose, and who knows what you'll produce. That rhymed. Oh dear. So anyway, Luma goes back to Earth. Quasar with Starfire and Nova are sent to retrieve him. Unbeknown to Quasar, and this is where it gets a bit, Game of Thronesy type plots within plots within plots, which, yeah, it's just you just go with it. You just go with the ridiculousness of it. But Quasar sent back busy two others to supervisor, and the Nova and Starfire have hidden another monster in the ship to unleash upon the Earth. Bit of a convoluted. They should have just sent if they had just sent the monster, dropped it off. It's a wee bit convoluted, but say to be anyway. Luma gets back. He's going about the place, asking questions and really standing out. And finally ties up with Betty again, just as Quasar and that land, and then it gets a wee bit messy. So we'll have two agents. I don't know whether they're supposed to be police or FBI or what, but they basically track down Luma and Betty, and they shoot Betty because, yeah, it made no. And plus, they were hiding behind a lamppost. Yeah, once again, it's cheesy and daft, but yeah, they decide to shoot Betty, and then that sends Luma on a rampage, and he starts killing people randomly. Oh, by the way, they've really increased the budget. They've got two skeletons this time. So instead of just recycling the one skeleton, we get double skeleton shots, which is brilliant. I just like the fact that for the sequel, they've got two skeletons. And if they ever do a third one of these, it'll be three skeletons. Keep that running theme within it. That'll just be so funny. Little nudge and a wink to those that get it. But yeah, he goes on a rampage, and then Quasar, Nova, and Starfire kidnap the rest of the family to find the creature, to stop Luma, to find Luma, even though Luma's doing their job. And Quasar changes her mind, but then she kills people too. And then Luma and Starfire do their own random things. And then it just gets a wee bit it's one of those popcorn, just chug the popcorn, laugh, and don't think about it. Yeah, because somehow they end up just all working against each other and then together, and yeah, you don't know who's on whose side or what's going on. Quasar decides then that she can't go back because Supreme Leader's going to do her in, because the plot was revealed that they was going to do that anyway. Bit odd. But like I said, it's all tongue in cheek, so you just kind of don't worry about it. Yeah, and that's really it. It's a short, simple film. It's not trying to be anything. It's just having a laugh. It's giving a nudge and a wink to a bygone era of movie making, and it works because everything else, like I said, they upgraded as well. They don't have the aluminium pie tins now for the spaceships. They've got saucers. They've got pots with lids. So they've upgraded again. So it's not just the pie lid going, wiggling about. They've got two pots and obviously stronger string, and they've got two of them this time. So they've really went out with the budget. This is why you watch this. It's for stuff like that. Just having a laugh. You don't go for any like deep meaning or anything. It's just, go with it. Sound again, there's I think independent directors definitely need to figure out a way to cheaply do ADR and Foley. Because relying purely on the camera, the mics on the scene doesn't work. Especially when you're trying to, because I've done it myself, and you've heard some of my early stuff with the narrative fiction. When you try to spectral subtract a denoise stuff, it always warps it. You always want as clean a sound as possible, because you can't. There's only so much you can fix it with the denoising where things get warped. You can tell. Maybe it's just me because I work with sound. I know what I'm listening and I'm hearing, and I pick it up. Maybe most folks don't, but I'm like, oh god, there has to be a way to do that cheaply, and cheaply do Foley, even if it's using a library effects, as opposed to having Foley artists going through the whole film. There has to be a way, because I think that'll take independent movies, like these type of movies, up to the next level. Is getting that sorted out. That's a massive thing. And then you don't have that distortion, because it does take me out of it a bit. But then again, that's me, because I obviously work with production and design and podcasting, and if you've seen the whole journey of this podcast, even getting to this level of sound, and I'm still not 100% happy with it. I'm not quite there with that crisp tone that I want when I'm recording things, or live casting's a bit different. You kind of, it's out of your control. You can set it up as much as you can, but then obviously out of this, I really can't test and adjust, that's where you need a producer. That's where you're getting into like next level stuff, even on this side. But I do understand it and I do appreciate it. And hopefully, as long as you folks, anyone that watches this and appreciate what Actor does, just support their films. I think the more support to get, or their Actor Productions now, they've ramped it up a gear anyway, and I don't know what that fully entails, but it's the legal entity are now. So not Actor Films anymore, it's Actor Productions, so maybe they're taking a bit more on board. Yeah, the only real answer for that is to make these things as successful as possible. So this particular movie, it's available on YouTube. The link's in the description. Have the guys get the YouTube revenue. That's basically do. Share it around, get exposure, and that helps because these guys they work on a shoestring budget. I know Acrorstar, for example, don't have a production company funding them for the movies. They're doing this 100% by themselves. So that's where that's where it's vital to show as much support as possible. Even if it's if you're not in a position to contribute financially, then giving them the watch time on YouTube, sharing the posts, sign up the email list, when their crowdfunding campaigns go out, even share them out. If you've anyone signed up the newsletter knows of like their latest projects, Night of the Undead Sorority Babes, isn't it? Yeah, man, I shared that one around when they launched the Kickstarter for it. Oh, there's Chris. Yeah, I'll have to see. I'll have to speak to Alan, see if I can get them on again sometime, and have another catch up in the chat because obviously quite a bit of stuff's happened since we last spoke. What was it they were doing last time we were speaking? They were just getting ready for Desperate Souls, weren't they? God, what was that about 3 movies ago? Holy crap! Like they've they've had about 4 movies out. Sorority Babes. I'm gonna watch that actually. Not the adult version, but they've got a version on YouTube. So I'll try and give that a watch during the week and maybe do a review on it. I know that's the proof of concept version of it. That's safe for YouTube. But yeah, they're busy. They're cracking the stuff out. And what I like as well, they've got it's the same as Calvin's bunch with 7th Street. You've got the returning cast, you've got the regular cast members, and it's an acting troupe at the end of the day. And I always like that. I always like the idea of an acting troupe. That's when when American Horror Story first came out, I actually really enjoyed that because I love the idea of the acting troupe returning to do different roles, and it's just the bygone era of traveling sideshows going around the place, and carnies, and I love all that stuff. So it's come back to that sort of era for me, and radio plays. That's to me that's when sort of the arts became available to all, as opposed to people having to cram into a theatre house while somebody performed, and how good your experience was depending on what seat you could afford. Where this age of radio drama and cinema really was made art available, and it let people imagine, and people having an imagination and being inspired is only good. And I think that's why I have a particular fondness for this franchise. And if this is going to be a franchise and they're going to return to it every so often, yeah, I'm always going to be a fan because it's that particular. It was a shift, and it was a positive shift in entertainment and cinema. And God, we wouldn't be sitting here now if it wasn't for the 1950s. If it wasn't for that sort of renaissance of cinema and things that were stage play, but just coming out, and you didn't have to go with top hat and tails to the theater. You could sit at home, and then obviously everything came after that. We're in a bad time at the moment in filmmaking. Let's be honest. There's I know I've made a few. I've had a few issues with the movie, but at the same time, there's more heart and soul and talent put into this than the guff that Hollywood just spews out and already despises their audience. these guys at least are trying to make a good movie and they want to entertain you and they want the value as you as a customer. So how can you complain? But I'm always going to give it a fair critique. I'm not going to sit here and shell, even though I consider them friends and I think they do great stuff. I'm always going to do an honest critique because that's what you come here for at the end of the day. But yeah, a lot of fun. The ending was cool. Just everyone happily ever after sort of thing, adjusting to their new lives. And I have a funny feeling that there will be revenge from Supreme Leader. Bring Zuma back in the next one. God's sake, she didn't do anything wrong. Bring Zuma back. No need for that. That's we'll leave it at and get Supreme Leader a throne. That's what I want for the next one. I want a cardboard cutout throne. I want it covered in glitter and cheesiness and just fun. Yeah, that's what we need. We've done the gag with the curtain and stuff, so now we can just take it up the next level. So here's hoping there's going to be another one of these. And as always, keep up to date with Actor Star because they do the business. Obviously, like I said, the link to this will be their YouTube channel. Go to their about section. You'll find their website, all that good stuff. It's all there. It's all a typey clicky thing away. But that's my review. Hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with this. Yeah, and of course reviewing the pickings, but that's what nerds do. But there you go. So just even say thanks everybody for tuning in and keep up to date with the channel. Do the typey clicky things. Until next time, keep it creepy, keep it horrific.